Guys, long time no see. So I decided today, since it's Saturday, that I am going to attempt to do the answers video because I just did a questions video about a week ago. It was called Ask Away, and I just told you guys to leave questions in the comments of the video, and I would go through and answer as many as I could in a certain time frame. So I'm going to go through and answered some questions. I'm going to pick and choose, and then I'll make a part 2 and finish the rest of them. And I should actually, now that I think about it, also bring up Facebook, because I think some people, Piper, also commented some questions as well on the actual video, as opposed to putting them in the comments, which was fun. So, hold on. Okay. So let's see. And some of these people I know who you are personally, but I'm not going to give your actual name, so I'm just going to read the YouTube username just to keep your privacy. Alright, so first question is Elliptica24 said, whatever happened between you working with Tiptoe? You guys talked about collabing with herbs and other stuff, and then poof. I was curious, and probably others are too. Well, Tiptoe and I did plan on doing a lot of collaboration videos. We were going to make our own separate channel, and then the channel ended up not working out because we were going to name it the Green-Eyed Owl, but then somebody else had that name and they didn't approve it, and it was a big mess. So then we were just going to post it onto our personal channels just with collaborations, and it just, we had the one, I think we had one video together. It was on one of the Sabbats, and after that, a lot of stuff, it just got really busy. My life got busy, her life got busy. We still chat, but it's not as often as both of us would like because we are very busy. So hopefully in the future there will be more between Tiptoe and I, but as of right now we just have a lot of stuff going on in our lives where it just doesn't allow for a lot of extra time. So, next one, what is by High Cosmos? It's, what is your favorite phase of the moon and why? And brightest blessings. So my favorite phase of the moon would have to be the full moon. And physically I don't really like it because the full moons I don't sleep. I think it's just the energy in the air. I can't sleep. It's awful. But the actual moon itself, I feel the most, like I said, I feel the most energy coming out of it. I feel the most power coming out of it. I absolutely love, it is my favorite to go outside and look up and to see a full moon and to just bask in the light of the full moon. So full moon would be my favorite moon phase. Oh, wait a minute. Is this one a lot? There's a lot of questions to this one. So I'm going to just pick and choose a couple. So this was from Blue Raven 96. I wish I could tell you my top favorite video games ever. I could, but I'd need time to make a list, so I'll do that in my next video. What are your favorite spells to do? I don't cast spells that often, so I don't really have a favorite because I don't do a whole lot of spells. How old are you? I'm 23. I'm going to be 24 this upcoming March. I'm not going to tell you where I was born. Oh, when were you born? When I was born, March 30th. Where, I'm not going to tell you. What made you want to make YouTube videos? I honestly just wanted to get out there and just find other people that had similar interests. I didn't think that it was actually going to take off the way it did. I'm very grateful that it did, but I just wanted to get out there and just find like-minded people. Who are your favorite people to watch? You know what? I'm actually not going to say who my favorite people are to watch because, first of all, there are too many to name, and second of all, I don't want people to get their feelings hurt if I have people that watch me that have YouTube videos and I don't watch them as often, so I'm not going to answer that one. Okay, so that was a couple out of that. Okay, Jules P. said, do you ever feel like spiritually drained, like for example, disconnected to your religion or spirituality? If I don't get out in nature, if I don't keep it in my mind, sometimes I feel like there's something missing. Absolutely. Actually, right now I'm going through a bit of a spiritual drought. I go through it a couple times a year where I just feel a major disconnect. Where I get home at night, I feel exhausted, I feel like I don't have time to do anything, and so I don't do anything. And that just really my altar gets messy because my cats go in there. I don't really go and do a whole lot, so the energy and the clutter build up, and just the energetic build up in the house when you don't smudge a lot. So there's a lot of times that I do feel spiritually disconnected, but normally it's just a phase I go through, and then I get a hop, jump, and a skip, and I go back into it, and I'm just fine. So I think it's normal. I think a lot of people go through that. So what path do you follow, and what is your favorite food and why? I don't follow a particular path. And what is your favorite food and why? My favorite food is ice cream, which is terrible because I'm lactose intolerant. So every time, there's my phone, someone texted me. So every time I eat ice cream, I get horrible stomach, just like, ugh. And Kevin knows, because like if I'm sitting next to him and I fart, it's like the worst smelling thing ever. And he's like, you had ice cream today, didn't you? Of course I did. I can go through a gallon of ice cream in less than a week. I mean, it's an addiction. I love ice cream. Do you use Reiki? If so, are you going to make money using it? Like you guys know from my last video, we took our class, our Reiki 1 class in December, and we're taking our Reiki 2 class this upcoming March. So we do use it. Recently, I've been kind of falling behind. I tried to do a session every day, and I haven't, so I'm going to try getting back into that before the second class starts. And if so, are you going to make money using it? Eventually, I would like to open up a little private practice where people can come in, and I don't want people... See, it's hard, because when you do any kind of service, people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that, because, you know, you shouldn't charge for that, and you shouldn't charge for this, and you're just doing... Well, if you have a family to feed, and you have your own bills going on, and you're giving up your personal time, I don't see any reason for charging money for something. Right now, I've been just doing stuff for family and friends, and like, for example, my aunt, for giving me a session, I didn't ask for anything. She took me out to lunch. So it's not like it has to be money, but one of the big things that they tell you when you're going through your Reiki classes is there has to be an exchange of energy. So you're doing this for someone, you know, whether they pay you, they take you out to lunch, they bring you baked goods, you know, there has to be some kind of an exchange. So eventually, I would like to open up my own practice doing it. It probably won't be for a while, though. What did your fiance say when you first told about your spiritual path, and does your family support you? I first told my fiance about being pagan when we were working together at GameStop, where we met. We actually weren't dating at the time. We weren't dating yet. But I had told him about what I believed, and he was a very strict Christian, so we actually had a lot to talk about, and he was very interested in what I had to say. He is a strict Christian. Don't want to say strict. He is a Christian. There you go. He is. But we actually had a lot to talk about, and he was very interested, and my family supports me in whatever I do. It's just something that really doesn't get brought up a whole lot. I mean, my mom or my dad will say, oh, you know, you're witchy things, or you're witchy this, and it just kind of comes up in passing, but it's not something that we all sit down and discuss because it's a little awkward. So it's not that they don't support me, we just don't talk about it a whole lot. Are you still doing paranormal investigating? And if yes, what are your plans coming up with that? We are still into paranormal investigating. I'm actually really sad because there was another chance to go to Waverly this year in July, and with me getting my new full-time job, I'm going to take a week off when I get married in June, and so I really didn't feel right taking more time off the next month, so I'm not going to Waverly in July. But with Kevin and I having a week off for our honeymoon, our plan is to get a hold of some places and hopefully do our own little paranormal investigations during our honeymoon. So trust me, if I come up with something and I know that we're going to go do something, I will keep you guys informed. Like I said, I can't stress enough how busy we've been, so I just haven't got a chance to look into more stuff. Would you rather battle a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Definitely 100 duck-sized horses, because ducks are little, and if it's a horse and it's this big, it's like, whatever. If it's a duck and it's the size of a horse, that beak could do some freaking damage. So definitely 100 duck-sized horses. Do you plan to start having kids soon? And if so, are you going to go with pagan or Wiccan names? I'm sorry, I haven't been even reading the names. That was from Corey Lynn. The last couple were from Berulip and Neva Latingo and Elaine 92 and Cassandra Kenny. Oh, I missed that question. That was actually a really good question. I'll go back to that one. Shadow Sun. Okay, those were my last ones. Anyway, so kids, I am going through something right now where my body is craving children. It's kind of like I really want to be pregnant. I know this is probably too much information, but I really want to be pregnant. I just don't want to have a baby, if that makes sense. Like, I really, really want to be pregnant. My body's like, I want to be pregnant. But where we are in our life right now with me going through my program, I'm in school full-time, I'm in work full-time, Kevin's working full-time. You know, we've got stuff we've got to pay off. I don't feel like I'm in the right place to have children, which if you talk to most people, they say you're never ready to have kids. But our plan, because we're getting married this June, our plan is to wait a couple years and then have children. Wait 2 or 3 years. I hope, knowing my luck, we'll get married and be like, oh, look, I'm pregnant. But I hope not. My hope is for us to wait a couple years. But anyway, are you going to go with pagan and Wiccan names? It's kind of funny because right now, my mind has changed 1,000 times on kid names. Right now, I'm telling the universe that I'm having a boy and a girl because I've already decided that. Originally, my daughter was going to be named Veda, V-A-E-D-A, because I had a dream, a very vivid dream about having a daughter named Veda, and I looked it up, and it meant knowledge, and there was just a whole bunch of stuff with that. And so that, as of right now, is my daughter's name. And my son's name is going to be Wyatt, W-Y-A-T-T, like from Charmed. I've always wanted a daughter named Pyperh, but I feel like with my channel and with my cat, I just can't name her Pyperh. So I guess they're not necessarily pagan or Wiccan, but that's what I'm going with. If you could have a power like in the show Charmed, what power would you want to have? I would want to be able to move things with my hands. I've always just... that's what I've wanted to do. I've always wanted to have Piper's powers, kind of combined with Prue's, like the freezing and the blowing up and the telekinesis all in one. It just, yeah. So, my other question was back here, and it was actually a really good one. When was your first paranormal experience, and or what got you interested in the field? You know, I actually didn't have a whole lot of paranormal experiences until I was quite a bit older, like until I was living in this house. We used to go ghost hunting all the time down when I lived downstate. I was just always that weird kid in school that wrote spells in, like before I even knew witches were real, you know, wrote spells and books and was hooked on ghosts and witches and goblins and zombies, and I was always the weird kid. And so anything that had to do with paranormal, it just came to me naturally, and I don't really know why, because my family was never into it. I never really knew where I got it from. It was just once I saw it, it was just an addiction kind of a thing. My first paranormal experience was probably, It was on my probably 11th or 12th birthday, and I had a girlfriend staying the night. Her and I were sleeping downstairs, and I was going to have a birthday party the next day, and in the middle of the night, the power went out because my dad was coming up and down the stairs checking the sump pump, and we were both kind of scared because we were sleeping in the basement because we wanted to ghost hunt, and so we were sleeping in the basement, and I had a red cup of forks because they had different containers. There was forks and knives and spoons for the ice cream and cake the next day. And they were all set up, and the fork cup fell over. Nobody was down there, fell over, and went all over the place and scared the living shit out of us, and we both ran upstairs. But actually, now that I'm saying that, I did have one when I was younger than that, much younger. Two of them, actually. One of them was when I was really little, and I still had a nightlight, and I woke up, and my closet door opened, and some kind of misty things were coming out of it, and I was so petrified that I ran to my mother's room and told her what was happening because my nightlight got brighter, and it was this horrifying experience, and she told me that I was hallucinating and that I was crazy and to go back to bed. So I think I went and slept. I went back in there for a little bit, and then I went and took my pillow and slept on the ground in her room, and she stepped on me when she got up in the morning because she didn't know I was there. So that was my first ever one. And then my other one was when I was in that same bedroom. I don't know how old I was, probably 8. And I was at the very end of the hallway. There was my room, across the hall was my brother's room, and then right next to his was the bathroom. And I heard, like the toothbrush, we had a cup that the toothbrushes were in, and it fell, and I heard the toothbrushes go everywhere, and I yelled at my brother because I thought he was up messing with shit, and I got up, and nobody was in there, and the toothbrushes were all over the place. So that was actually first, second, and then the party one was third. So I actually did have quite a few growing up, I guess. I just forgot them all. And now there's been a bunch here. It's been ridiculous. Actually, thinking about it, oh my god, that's Pyperh. Recently, if anybody has heard, and I'll have to just do a separate video on like paranormal things that have happened, but the ghost that's in our house recently locked Pyperh in the second bathroom when Kevin was in the shower, so that was fantastic. But anyway, trying not to make this video too long. It's already 18 minutes. So, Pyperh, that was Magical Mayhem 13. If you could get this is Jessica Prickett. If you could get another tattoo, what would it be and why? I would get an owl because I have a strange addiction to owls in the last couple of years, and they're all over my house, so I would get a little outline of an owl. Oh my god, this one actually has a lot of fun ones. Okay, they're just short. I'll just read these and then I'll be done and I'll do a part 2. So this is from Witch Time 5. 1. Were you named after anyone? Yes, my mother was in labor with me on the way to the hospital, and somebody called in on the radio, and her name was Krista, and she loved it. So she heard my name on the radio on the way to the hospital. When was the last time you cried? I cried about an hour ago when I was rewatching The Hunger Games. Do you like your handwriting? I love my handwriting. It's like a mix between half cursive and half just, yeah. What's your favorite lunch meat? Smoked ham. Do you use sarcasm a lot? Yes, I'm a sarcastic biatch. Do you think you're a strong person? I do, because I feel like looking back at the shit that I've dealt with in my life, especially a lot of the stuff that I don't really tell people, I feel like I am a strong person. Now, whether I show that a lot, whether I get upset and I cry, but I feel like I am a strong person. Favorite dessert is ice cream, hugs or kisses. Oh, both. both. I can't. If I had to choose to get a hug or a kiss from Kevin, I don't know. I may have to get maybe a hug, just because I can snuggle right into his chest and he smells so good. Last movie you watched? I just watched The Hunger Games again. And last night I watched Cabin in the Woods, which was fucked up. You should watch it if you have a chance. And favorite smells? I love the smell of gasoline. I know that's weird, but I absolutely love it when I go to the gas station and fill up, because I love to smell gas. Like gas, not farts. I love the smell of Kevin's cologne. He wears Adidas Dare, and it just, like, oh my god, it makes me go absolutely apeshit crazy. And I love the smell of my mother's house, because my mom's house always smells good. So anyway, this video's 20 minutes long. I'm just going to check the ones that are on Facebook, and then I'll probably just have to do another video. Yeah, there's a lot of other questions. So I'm just going to end it here. Oh, okay, I guess one more. Somebody asked, do you pick your nose when you know nobody's looking? Absolutely, I do. I have no shame, and I pick my nose. Yeah, I do. Alright, so that was my questions video. I'll hopefully do a part 2 to finish everybody else's. If I didn't get to yours, it's because it either required a super long response, or it was similar to somebody else's, or if you picked 10 of them, I just picked a question. So please don't feel bad if I didn't get to your question. I will get to them. I'll just do it in another video. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.